having a fully fit squad for these long seasons of Super Rugby is often one of the biggest challenges that squads face these days. The Highlanders have had a good run this season, but their opponents for today here at Forsyth Bar Stadium, the Melbourne Rebels, are on the complete opposite contrast of that effect. It is the Highlanders up against the Rebels for round 13 of the 2016 Super Rugby season. Hello everyone and welcome along to Cornflakes Crib, your home of Rugby Challenge 2 and the Highlanders career mode, where the Highlanders are back at home again. Boy, they've played some big matches here, a lot of big matches here this season. They are still going very strongly, undefeated, top of the table, 5-point lead over the Blues. But today, this week, they've had a few changes. Of course, a lot of fans calling out, a lot of fans of the Highlanders calling out, saying that players need a rest, player burnout becoming a big issue. Although we're not having any injuries to speak of this season at all, we've really been lucky once again. The players have played a lot of minutes, and as a result we have a few changes for today's match, starting in the second row with Hugh Powell getting a start in the place of S.3. There's the back row that has Rob Shaw coming in to replace Samoan. In the backs, there is a number of changes. Hoggard starting at scrum half. Outside him will be Sopawanga for the second week in a row. The midfield combination, a new one for Fana and Ben Smith. Out on the wings, two new pairings with Ranger and Kaka. And at the back, Robbie Robinson returns to spend some time out in the middle to see if he can return to his glory form of last season. Now, if you've been watching the series, you'll know they're in very good form, this Highlander side, beating the Stormers 28-3 last week, and before that 24-14 over the Brumbies. Can they keep up this great form before they have to head over to South Africa? The Melbourne Rebels, well, I said at the start here, these two sides contrasting with injuries. The Rebels have four big injuries, with Woodward out, Angus Ta'avao out, John Hardy, the former Highlander, he is also out, and Rocco Borrow, you may remember him from our previous encounters against the Rebels, a winger, he is also out. So big first team injuries here for the Rebels. It's going to be a big test of their character if they can even compete here with so many frontline players out. They have not had a good season, let's be completely honest. They are bottom of the Australian Conference, just 2 wins and 8 losses. Their previous 2 matches saw them go down both to New Zealand franchises, 33-8 to the Chiefs and 30-18 to the Crusaders the week before. Is a bounce back on the cards here for the Rebels, or is their season already passed them by? We are set to go, the Rebels, to kick off Forsyth Bar Stadium, round 13 of Super Rugby. And it will be Breen to kick off on his left foot, and we are underway. The Highlanders and the Rebels. Oh, good start here from the Rebels, playing in the white. Oh, big monstrous tackle there against Mitchell from Ranger. Now the Rebels, they've got an early use of the ball here. What can they cook up? The Highlanders, early defence. Hoggard has to run around in circles before coming up against his opposite. A bit of a run here for Rogers through the centre.
Release.
And, oh, good tackle. Finds the turnover ball. Highlanders have it back, and here comes Moore. Pops it out, didn't really go where he wanted it to. That's a mistake. Oh, Retallick, super work. But it has still just gone over the touchline. Well, there we go. A flurry start once again, like we have every single week here with this competition. Horia will throw in. Oh, and he's given it straight to Retallick. Makes up for the mistake. Sopawanga runs to the line, delivers it wide. And Fofana, quick hands, quick ball. Finds Gillies Kaka. And he's hammered a good tackle from his opposite, Vainu. Great work. And the Highlanders struggle and they lose the ball in the ruck. Now the Rebels, just 40 out, decide to have a run. Great tackle from Armitage on Horia. That's a huge one. And here come the Rebels again, looking out to the left. Oh, Alexander misses out on Vainu. And he runs up towards the 22. But Retallick has turned him over. Great work, and here come the Highlanders. Alfoa didn't really want to kick that. And the end, Fofana comes away with it. Looks for Ranger. Oh, we couldn't mic him. And the Rebels get an intercept, and they will come back the other way. Once again, Horia going straight through the heart. Another big run there from the Japanese hooker. There's Weeks.
Release.
Short pass. One phase running here from the Rebels at the moment. Now Inman gets a bit of a run of the ball before he finds Tisu. Burgess looks to left side. That's a good pass. It's a brilliant work. But in the end, Gillies Kaka, super defense there. It almost come as a shock. But we have to admit, Vainu has been very good already in this match. Making a couple of line breaks. Here will be more with the throw on. He goes to Pyle at the front, and that's not straight. Wow, there's a mistake there. Stephen Moore, such an experienced campaigner, making a schoolboy mistake there.
Crouch.
The Rebels have the option here, scrum or line out, and they've opted for the scrum.
Set.
Burgess will have the feed. And the Highlanders will look to compete here. The Rebels have it under wraps at the moment. Good steady scrum, slowly twisting. But it should not worry them too much. The ball comes back there. And Higginbotham slips it out there nicely for Burgess. And a one-man run there straight into the defence from Breen. He's lost it completely. Now, back to Robinson for the Highlanders. And Robbie Robinson just pumps us downfield up to halfway at the back. Alcaldi goes long himself, finds Ranger. Doesn't know who's onside and who's offside. Big mistake, and Inman picks it up.
Release.
Oh, the Rebels are all over this match at the moment. Into the left side they come. Rogers passes over the top. Has to be a try. No, it's gone to Vanu. He comes back. The Rebels have cooked it. Surely not. They will score anyway. Wow, they took their sweet time there and they just about butchered that. Almost completely hashed it up. Peter Breen, the fly half. Look at this. Higginbotham went wide far too early. Kaka was all over that. But in the end, Robinson could not stop Breen. Fofana come to help out, but he managed to get the ball down. How did they just about ruin that? The Highlanders' defence has been rather poor in this first opening period. And the Rebels have really owned this match right from the outset. Nearly half an hour in, and Breen to convert his own try. Successful. And a good kick. Peter Breen adds the extras. It's 7-0, the Rebels over the Highlanders. Of course, we go back to that dreadful season for the Highlanders a few years ago now, where the Rebels just doomed the Highlanders to a woeful end of their season. Now they're looking to do the same as a kickoff goes up. And Ben Smith puts in a monstrous hit. Still there for Burgess. He runs it out himself, finds, Toby Smith. Big run from the big prop. And it takes 4 Highlanders to take him to ground. What an amazing run down the middle. Again, Horia goes for a short one. This time he's lost it. Completely isolated. Hogarth, flat-footed for Fana. Oh, he's missed it completely, Kaka. And it's going to go away for the Rebels. And Vaianu. Oh, this could be trouble. Oh, no, and Vaianu is injured. Oh, that's a massive blow for the Rebels. And Rokabaru will come on. Of course, carrying that knock. How is he even in the squad? Well, that's interesting tactics there. Before the match, he was carrying an injury and was not in the 23.
Set.
So he's come from nowhere, not in the squad at all, not in the 23 starting players, and now he's on the field. It's a scrum turnover from the Highlanders. And away comes Hogarth, short to Fofana. Flint's Ben Smith running from deep. Here goes around with Nasi Manu. Manu still looking out for Ranger. Ranger! Here's some danger! Oh, what a step from Rennie Ranger! And he's going to get the score. The try back for the Highlanders. Off the turnover scrum, Rennie Ranger. That's how good he can be. And that is what he can deliver. Great run, great work from Nasi Manu. Just to hold that ball up, create the space, left it 1-on-1 for Ranger. And we all know he's strong. We all know how powerful Ranger is. But he didn't take that route this time. He went around the outside of the fullback. And Alcati had no chance at all. Showed him the inside, took the outside. A Rennie Ranger special for the Highlanders. As they hit back. Get within 2. Sopowanga's kicking form. Dare I put the knockers on him now, but it's been brilliant. As halftime is about to ring, Sopoanga, oh dearie me. What have I done? Putting the absolute commentator's curse on Lima Sopoanga, the poor man. Say he's kicking superbly, and he puts over a howler wide to the right-hand side. Half-time goes as that kick was drifting wide, and it is the Rebels leading 7-5 over the Highlanders. And as we can see by the stats, possession is all to the Rebels at the moment, 67%. The Highlanders 33 possession. Territory fairly even. The Rebels are just taking that one by a whisker. But it is the stats further down that prove the story to tell. Handling errors 5-1. The Highlanders making a lot more mistakes, especially in that first half of the first half, just to be confusing. Line breaks 3-2. The Rebels showing that this first half has been all about them. Really, they'll be devastated that the Highlanders have come back to score late in that first half. The injury to Vainu, bringing on a man who was already carrying an injury. How has that even happened? Rockabara, he was injured. He had the little cross. Stunned that he's on the field. But that'll cost him, because Vainu was playing superbly in that first period that he was on the field. But there's still 40 minutes of action to come. It's only 2 points in it. And as always, some crucial points at hand here. The Rebels, well, they'll be keen here because they're not having the best season, and this will make it a bit sweeter as they look to close out on a high. Can the Highlanders come back here, or will the Rebels have some away form to take back home? Of course, a lot of big names rested for this match for the Highlanders, but that is no excuse. Player burnout, injuries, they all happen. Sopoanga kicks us back underway to the left side, and Ranger climbs high and picks that from the sky. The Highlanders struggling to get the ball back, but now it comes for Holgard, who runs short for Fofana. Good run here from the Frenchman, and he goes straight through a little hole as well. Brilliant work, Nasi Manu. Manu, here we go, Nasi Manu. Oh, that is huge on Nasi Manu. Holgard fires it wide. Kaka, brilliantly around the corner. Ben Smith, no, he's been put out. Brilliant defence from the Rebels. Who was that man? Let's see. No, we won't see a replay. Spectacular defence. Surely that had to be Mitchell on that side, or was it the man on from the reserves bench, the injured player? What's the chances of that? Rockaborough getting the big try savers. The ball is lost from the Highlanders, but they've got an advantage quickly back. Forward pass from the Rebels, coming in from Tissou, the Frenchman as well. But,
Crouch.
Big defence from the Rebels. The match quickly moves on though.
Sit.
The scrum to pack down. Holgard to feed. Highlanders will be desperate. Desperate for some points. Manu picks it up. He has a running, finds Armitage. Brilliant work there. The back row is finding beautiful support. Now here's Kaka. Oh no, he's in trouble. But he's somehow stayed in the field of play.
Release.
Great work, Gillies Kaka. And look at his reinforcements come. The heavy artillery. Pyle pops it short. Ben Smith over the top, intercepted. Brilliant work. And that is a great intercepted change. The whole scheme of the play there from the Rebels. And now they come wide. Numbers to Burn Inman. Turns infield and puts a kick away. Over the head of Gillies Kaka, who has to go back for it. Now he finds a ball. Oh, we know how good on the counter-attack Gillies Kaka is. As the Rebels have got this straight back. And they look down the short side. Great run here from Rogers. He shows and goes. And again, through 3 tacklers before Robinson finally puts him to ground. Again, the short side, but a great tackle coming on Taufua.
Release.
Highlanders piling some numbers. 60 minutes nearly up on the clock. Hogarth decides to run it for Fana. They look wide. Robshaw, he's in a bit of space. He goes outside for Ben Smith. He's still got Ranger. Ranger can't do it himself. Decides to kick ahead. And that is a great way to relieve the pressure. And look at the speed of Rennie Ranger. Oh, good word, he's gone. Oh, my goodness, Rennie Ranger. That is X Factor plus 1 billion. That is huge. How good is he? Take your opportunity, Rennie Ranger. That is what rugby is all about. He had no right at all to even get close to that ball. But a huge mistake from the fullback, Alcardi. He has messed that up completely. There he is. Ranger was just nowhere near the ball, not even in the frame. He's just come through, kicked it out of his hands, and scored the freakish try of all tries. He's given the Highlanders the lead back with their second try of the match. Sopawanga will line it up from in front. Had a horror with his first kick. Makes up for it with a beauty in his second, right out in front. No mistake from Sopawanga. But how about Rennie Ranger? 2 tries. And he has been at his absolute best. Such pace. He is so fast. Breen will get the game back underway, scoring all the points so far for the Rebels. Oh, Gillies Kaka now climbing high for that ball. As wide come the Highlanders. Smith, oh no, not again. It's Rennie Ranger looking to do another one. Over the top he goes, and Alcardi once again caught miles out of position. But coming back they go, and that's go. Oh, Nasi Manu's got it. What an intercept from the big number 8. This is just absolute complete freakish stuff as Hogarth. Oh, Hogarth's got it. Try number 3. Game over. The Highlanders have come good when it matters. The Rebels have pushed them hard, but look what happens when you push the Highlanders. They just put it down another gear and they hammer forward. Cranking up the difficulty here are the Highlanders for everyone else in this competition. How do they turn up the heat? Just like they flick a switch. Ranger, he was all to pay for that move. Again finding space on the left. Down Mitchell's wing. And then the kick forward. No right to get it. Nasi Manu the intercept. The man is an absolute machine. Here's Sopawanga. His 3rd shot. And that is more like it from Sopawanga. That's what we're used to. Boy, oh boy, he is an asset to this Highlanders team. Is he going to be the shining light in the number 10 jumper this season for the Highlanders? Of course, we've had Ehire West rip this competition up. Then, of course, Robbie Robinson did it, and now Sopawanga is showing the way forward. Up go the Highlanders, and Hogarth delivers it wide for Fana. Somehow passes in the tackle, and here comes Armitage finding Sopawanga again, and oh, that's a disappointing end. Kaka could not reel it in, but that is just so easy. It's a line out for Horia and the Rebels. Not being their strongest part of the match, and that's why another turnover ball, and Ranger runs straight at them. Takes out one,
Release.
Goes again. Hogarth delivers quick ball to Ben Smith. Oh, Ben Smith round the outside. Looks to step. Oh, what a shimmy. He's got another man on him. He finds some support, but he's overpassed it. And the Rebels, luckily for them, have come away with the ball. That was something brilliant there from Ben Smith as the Rebels come away through Toby Smith. Bridges goes back and they come over the top nicely. Mitchell leaves him in his wake. Brilliant work against Ranger, who's been the go-to. Oh, look, Nasi Manu. Now he turns that over. Up forward. takes it forward, so a little glimmer of light there for the Rebels is quickly distinguished. As Fofana finds Manu, goes over the top for Kaka, goes back for, oh, Ben Smith gets hammered. Huge shot from Breen. The Highlanders struggling to get this ball back. Burgess will have it, and he goes for Weeks. Good pass in the tackle. Inman goes the inside ball for Breen. Now they switch it back again as Rogers takes it to ground. This is a good run out here from this Highlanders outfit. Oh, as Breen goes straight through, but taken down from Robinson. A lot of second stringers here, finding some game time. Now they look wide. Rangers got 2 on 1, but brilliant work from Ranger. He's taken Mitchell up and over the touchline. And the Highlanders carry on their merry way with another win. This time the Rebels, the team to go down. And your man on shot there, Nasi Manu. A fantastic display from the big number 8. The Highlanders show up when it really matters. And when the going got tough there, an hour gone, down by 2, something just snapped at the Highlanders. And they have bulldozed their way to another couple of tries and secured a 19-7 win over the Melbourne Rebels. Well, what a classic that was. Tries for Holgard, who was really, all he did was pick the ball up and scoot 10 metres, not even that, 5 metres to score the try. Ranger did the rest. He set that one up and scored 2. Well, he was the man, wasn't he? 2 brilliant tries, but he was the man that really ignited this Highlanders team. That kick that resulted in the try when Al-Khadi just had no idea what was going on. Sopawanga 2 from 3, he was good. As we've seen from him in the past, he's been very solid, has Lima Sopawanga. Peter Breen was the only point scorer for the Rebels with a try and a conversion. Well, the stats will turn around in the second half. The Highlanders getting 61 and 63% of possession and territory from that match. But look at the line breaks. It was a complete turnaround. The Highlanders were struggling in the first half, but what was said at that halftime break has sparked them into life. 9 line breaks to 5. And of course, the injury down there for Vainu. Didn't see his replacement, Rockaborough. I don't know how he was on the field. That just confuses me completely. 99 tackles in all, just to be awkward. And 19-7 the final score. The Highlanders grabbing 4 points today over the Melbourne Rebels. Let's check out the table, who we've got next week. And how close are those Blues to catching up to the top spot of the Highlanders? Carrying on from that match we just watched was a cracker. 19-7, the Highlanders over the Rebels. The other matches from round 13 saw the Reds thump the Stormers 40 points to 10. The Blues 29-15 over the Sharks. And that rounds out round 13 as well. Round 14 has 3 matches played. Just about halfway through, the Hurricanes going down to the Chiefs. The Rebels unable to get back into some points. They've gone down 18-14 to the Stormers. Still grab them a bonus point. The Waratahs in the third match, 43-9 over the Lions. That is an absolute thumping. For round 14, the Highlanders will be travelling up the road to AMI Stadium to face their biggest rivals, really, as far as where they are on the country map goes. It is the Crusaders and the Highlanders for round 14. Let's check out the standings here, and we can see 10 matches played for the Highlanders and the Blues, and it is the Highlanders ahead by just 4 points over the Blues from Auckland. It is a 10-0 record for the Highlanders, 9-1 for the Blues. Their only loss going against the Highlanders. The Hurricanes and the Chiefs have played 12 each. They're on 26 and 25. And the Crusaders, well, they've got a chance. 2 matches in hand, and they could possibly get ahead of the Hurricanes and the Chiefs with those 2 extra matches they have. Around the rest of the country, South Africa, the Sharks well out in front 38, the Cheetahs 21, the Stormers 19, Bulls 12, and the Lions just 6. In Australia, well, is it even a competition over here for the Aussies? Goodness gracious me. 13 from 13. The Waratahs, 8 bonus points. Goodness me. Put them in the final already. The Waratahs are easily the best team in this competition. 60 points. That is freakish. The Reds, humbled. They're not even in the showing of winning this conference. 33 points to them was still a good record, but goodness me, just about double ahead of them is the Waratahs. The Brumbies on 24, Western Force 17, and the Rebels down the bottom with 11. And that is it for the tables. Here we go, round 14, AMI Stadium. Highlanders travelling up to face the Crusaders. Now things are really getting the business end of the season. Round 14, there's not too many left to go. The Highlanders are really in a crunch spot here. So, a good performance today from the Highlanders. Will we see many of those players come in today, keep their spot for next week? Or will the incumbents come back? That is for your decision. So do let me know in the comments what you think, as always. And I'll see you all next time for round 14, Highlanders Crusaders, AMI Stadium. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.